Hey, welcome to another tutorial. This time I'm going to go over styling the Neos UI style elements with your own styling, colors, and theming. Should be a pretty quick one, but let's get started. So for those not aware, Neos comes with some default user controls that you can use in your own gadgets. They're quite handy, but their styling sometimes leaves a little bit to be desired, and that's because you can style them yourselves. You just need to know how. So that's what I'm going to go over. If you're not familiar with the Neos UI style options, grab an inspector tooltip, go to create new, go to object, go to Neos UI, and then you'll see a bunch of options here. So you click button, you'll get a button. Try them out. There are various tutorials on each of them. I will link those below if I can find them, and then if you're watching this in a few months' time, I'll have added most of them there as separate tutorials anyway, so double check that description for them. So let's say you wanted the buttons or the UI here to not be this sort of yellowy orange color. That's fine. What you need to do is create a Neos UI style, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to store this on an empty object, so I'm going to go ahead, create new empty object, and on this empty object, I'm going to attach a component. So select, attach component, go to rendering, go to visuals, go to Neos UI style, and there you go. So the Neos UI style component has got 3 color properties. It's got color, which is the default color. That's when it's in the world just hanging out. And you'll see everything here is this default yellow color. You've got user parented color. That's when it's parented to you. So if I pick up this button, you'll see it changes to the red color. Same with the checkbox. That doesn't, but that's okay. Some of these don't, some of them do. It depends on the individual UI module and how that's set up. And then you also see private color, and you'll see that's the teal color. That sort of teal cyan color is also the color that you'll find for most of your private UI, like the session menu, the inventory menu, the world menu by default. They'll all be that teal color. And now you know why. It's that private color on the Neos UI style. To use Neos UI style within a UI object, inspect it. Look for the component that is named after it. So this is a checkbox, so we're looking for Neos checkbox. Under Neos checkbox, there'll be a style property. Grab the Neos UI style and drop it in, and you'll see it set up. So I'm just going to do that with a bunch of these UI things, so bear with me. Button, inspect, Neos button, style, grab style, drop it into style. There you go, style, Neos UI style. Numeric up, down. I have to go to the root there, select numeric up, down. Find style, there it is. Done. Slider. Look for style. Grab it. Put it in. Done. Text box. Go up 1. Text field. Style. Drag in style. I could have done this ahead of time, but I wanted to show you how I was doing it just in case you got lost when trying to style one of these. This one I haven't actually ever styled, but there we go. Good. It's got the style properties. So Neos UI style. I've not used that one. That's a progress bar. I haven't actually ever used it. I won't do this button. That's just a duplicate button that I spawned. So now these are all set up. I can go ahead and change this color here. So let's go for, hey, green. Now all the UI is green. Blue, it's all blue. But you'll notice when I pick it up that it's still this red color. Sometimes I will just duplicate the colors downwards, so you can grab the numbers here and drop them in. And this will mean that regardless of where the UI is, it will be the same color. So now I can pick it up and it'll still be blue. That's Neos UI style for you. I'm also going to show you how to do some other customization options on the style. So on this button, for example, I can inspect it. And I can set the slant here to be 0. And that gets rid of that slanted effect, which I know some people don't like, so that gets rid of it. Now it's back to being a rectangle. I can also lower the thickness down to 0. And now you'll see it's beginning to resemble sort of flat UI. This also works with the numeric up, down. So again, slant and thickness. And now it looks a little bit more like the sort of flat UI style I'm seeing other users adopt. You can also change the text color of various options here. So you see I've made it quite a dark blue. That means that the black might not be as readable as we'd want. So I can find, usually there's a text render or something along the lines of that, and I can just change the white color, the black color to white, and now it'll show up more. You can do the same there on the left and right buttons of this. You just go to the text, change it to white, and now you'll see it's white. So there you go, that's how to style things. I'll do one more. So here's the slider. I can go here and I can, again, change the slant to be 0, and now you see it's straight. That does do weird things with the handles of the slider, and that's because they are set up to be slanted. But you can play around with those using the cursor ratio field, the thickness field, the spacing ratio field, track ratio field, etc., button ratio field. Play around with them. So here, if I change this down to 0.4, you'll see those have now shrunk down to a much more reasonable size. You can also take a look at track ratio field. If I up this, you'll see that the track gets nice and thick. And if you lower it, it'll get thin. So play around with them. The default UI are a lot more customizable than some users might initially think. And look out for a video on each of these going forwards. I will see you next time.